I'm Nate, and I sing.
I'm Sam, and I play guitar.
I feel like you've known each other for a while now.
Maybe 30 years this later this year.
Wait, you're keeping track of the official amount of years?
I mean, it's December. If it was like,
then you got the month too.
Well, I mean, we know this because there was a show. It's a very prominent show in our life, or at least in mine. I mean, I met you there, and
Definitely
it was also just a great show.
Yeah, but I still don't remember when that was.
I know the day.
Wait, so what show?
It was a Weezer show on the Pinkerton tour, December of 1996.
Wow. And you sort of, do you remember what were your first impressions of each other? It's a very memorable day.
It was
brief.
brief. I mean, it was brief because we were both there, and I went with, we have mutual friends.
We had a mutual friend.
So he was there with one friend. I was there with a couple friends. And then at some point in time, there was just like oh, hey, what's up? What's going on? Kind of a situation.
But Sam ran the official Weezer fan club website.
Oh, okay.
And so he got to go backstage. So I was
coding in 96,
So I was just like walking by,
code.
just being like, what the fuck? How did he get to do
Wait, I love this. So wait, how did that work? You're a kid. You're obviously good on the internet.
Yeah, my dad had a computer, so I just...
you were homeschooled as well.
I was homeschooled, which helped.
But how old are you in 96?
16.
16, okay.
Did you reach out to them, or did they find you?
I reached out to them. So when the first Weezer album came out in 94, I just was like obsessed with it, as I think a lot of us were in that time. And I really started getting into computers, and I started just trying to discover more music. So I started finding all these music sites, and then I realized you could just look at the source of it, and you could literally just take like a block of the code and put it in a text editor, and then just like change stuff from there. It was like pretty basic at that point. So I just started making websites. So I made a Weezer website, and I was like, hey, you guys don't have a website for I was in the fan club. It was $10, which was awesome. They'd send you a zine every quarter and like a little merch item. And I love merch. So I was psyched, and I was like, hey, do you guys need like a fan site, like an official fan site? And these two girls, Michael and Carly, ran it, and they're like, yes, that would be awesome. We don't know how to do this. We'll just send you stuff. We'll send you my mom had a fax machine for some reason. So they would like fax me tour dates from the management, and like they just sent. I was just like running a little website guy.
As a fan of, I mean, Weezer's amazing, but as a fan at that age, what was that like? Was it just very normal and fine, or were you sort of going, oh my God, this is crazy?
No, I was more interested in being able to do it than I was in the fandom part. Like I learned a lot, I think, at that time, just sort of how that was my entry to sort of how accessible the music industry could be, because you realized like, oh, I'm just like communicating with the manager. And so then a friend of mine, we started making these like fake press passes because I saw what they looked like. And I was like, we could just make these and like go to shows. Great. And we started going to shows and like just walking in and being like, oh, we're with, whatever. And they'd be like, okay, cool.
We had a very similar teenage past. I was making websites and t-shirt design and doing like MySpace coding.
Yeah, there you go.
For bands.
Yeah. I was always that.
It was like a leveler, wasn't it? Between like the people and these like inaccessible bands.
You think that bands are you put them on like a huge pedestal, but then you realize they're just, I mean, some people I guess are probably living like crazy bougie lives, but most people are just like, we go to punk shows and we'd see these bands that we loved, and in my mind I would, even at that time, would think like, oh, they're probably like rich and whatever, and then they'd roll up in like the shittiest van imaginable, and you could just tell like, oh, these guys are just scarfing down this Fazoli's because they haven't eaten all day because they're broke.
So the internet was so pure back then. My God, if only we could go back to that time.
I loved that version of the internet. It's kind of where it died for me.
No, I love message boards, like late 90s, early 2000s message boards was like peak internet for me.
That was our jam, for sure. We had a local, the local punk rock club had the message board, and that's where we lived on that message board.
Yeah.
You met your wife.
I met my wife on that message board through him.
God.
Like,
this is amazing.
Yeah, I was the moderator of course, because I got a job at the venue.
You were absolutely mod. I didn't even remember that you
I got a job at the venue because
energy.
I knew how to make websites.
Big mod energy.
Yeah, big mod energy. I was modding hard for sure.
So you guys end up meeting at the Weezer show. How soon was it till you were sort of making music together? How did that work?
Probably like a year.
I feel like it was about a year. Yeah, I think the next time I went to your house and played basketball in your driveway and then I
Sounds about right.
discovered that you were just attempting to start a band.
Yeah, at that
I
point,
play guitar.
yeah.
This was the format at that
No,
stage?
this was, we had like a pop punk band, then we had kind of like a emo type of band, and then we had the format. Just different iterations, really just like the same people too. Like, really just like recycled, and still even 20 years later.
Yeah, Marco in our band was in all three of those bands as well.
Yeah, so.
And did you have any idea at that moment you'd still be friends and still making music together 30 years on? I mean, obviously there's been all sorts of morphing and changing, but here you both are. Most people don't have friendships that last that long.
Whatever we had in Phoenix, including like Marco, that old group of friends have found a way to kind of stay together in one way or another. I mean, even one of our other friends had just sent us photos from our guitarist Marco's wedding like 10 years ago. So yeah, I mean, and there was no talk of the format reuniting or anything like that at that time. So we've all just found a way to stay in each other's lives for better or for worse.
What was that Arizona music scene? Because I grew up in Chicago around like the rise of Fall Out Boy and all those bands of that era.
The Metro was the place to be.
Metro, Knights of Columbus, and Arlington Heights.
Mm-hmm.
What was, because you guys had Pedro the Lion around?
No, we had Jimmy Eat World.
Jimmy Eat World. Okay.
We had Jimmy Eat World, and before that we had the Gin Blossoms. But I think Jimmy Eat World came for us just a little bit later. We right after Weezer, we really got into like punk and like pop punk. And we had a friend who started, he dropped out of high school to start booking all the punk shows at like 16, like all the major shows, like, 1,000, 2,000 seaters and stuff like that. And Sam, being the homeschooled kid, was just ended up getting a job and doing all the graphics and running the door and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was working like 80 hours a week. I'd get there at 10. I'd make every flyer, every poster, modding doing the website. And then I would work the door and then sometimes work like goth night afterwards. I was working.
I got
it was
hired.
Crazy.
I begged for a job and I got hired to pass out flyers, but I just kept them in the trunk of my car.
And no one would show up.
Like Newman and Seinfeld, just never delivering the mail.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's exactly what I did.
Wait, so I don't want to skip over this, the homeschooling thing, because I was homeschooled till I was about 12.
Oh, really?
It's a trip. I think there's really amazing aspects to it and sort of quite weird aspects when you look back.
Yeah.
But how was it for you? And where did you go to school?
I was public schooled.
You were public school. Okay. So quite a separate kind of a...
Yeah. My mom pulled me out of school in third grade.
What was the reasoning for it?
I actually don't remember. I think it was she just had some issue with the school, like some personal issue, and I don't know, like some
beef with the principal.
Some sort of beef that I never even bothered because I don't even care. Didn't even bother to ask. But it was super weird at first when I was really young. I did not like it at all. You'd have to do the basic testing, and we'd all go to this school, and I was just like, these are not. There's a lot of like very super religious, like post hippie kids and stuff, and it just was not my scene. I did not like engage with. I couldn't figure out how to connect with anybody in that world. But then I had the thing that made it great for me was a friend of ours, another Nate in our life, moved in across the street from me and became my best friend. And he, what did he like play tennis with you or something? How did he know?
We just went to school.
Just went to school together. Yeah. But didn't you do something like what was your connection?
He was into music. I think we like played tennis and stuff like that as like an aside.
Oh, okay.
Like that was later on.
But so he was my best friend. So then all of his friends that he was meeting at school, I just started hanging out with.
He was like the conduit in.
He was definitely my conduit.
Yeah, I had Sam Darling. He was my one friend, lived up the road, and he was like my conduit into the rest of the world.
Right, yeah, because other's, you're like...
What if you guys just you and mum?
Mommy, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you call your mom mommy like he does?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But yeah, and also I was a little bit older, so I got the car first and just started driving everybody to all the shows.
Well,
as soon as I had a car, I was just like, we're going to shows.
We went everywhere. We really went to Jack in the Box a lot.
Yeah, and Taco Bell and record stores.
Somehow my parents and your parents let us go to LA to go see shows.
Yeah, we started coming out here really early.
Amazing
stuff. It was
Yeah, we were still in high school. Driving up to LA from Phoenix.
I have a 16-year-old daughter right now, and the thought of just letting her get in a car and drive out to Anaheim is is not one I like to think about. Yeah.
I guess different time, but also it is kind of outrageous anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents, I was 16 driving into the city to the metro and like Fireside Bowl. And yeah, I don't think
I'm jealous of that
lucky.
time. I bet that was awesome. A lot of cool shows there, I'm sure.
I wasn't allowed. I couldn't go anywhere. I had a pet goat called Frisky. I'd go hunting on the weekends with my dad. Very different existence.
You brought the goat hunting?
The goat was actually, my dad shot its mother, which was so sad and awful. Didn't realize there was a kid there. And we brought the goat home. And then I had a pet goat.
Wow.
So it was like quite a sad origin
and then he
story.
Shot him.
Yeah, and then it was revenge. It was a revenge story.
And then we ate Frisky. No, we didn't eat Frisky.
I had a goat growing up.
Get out. They're the best. They're so loyal and so fun.
Hard disagree. Before we moved to Arizona, my family's from Iowa, and we had a farm. And so my earliest memories was the goat would just not get off the fucking car so we could leave.
Yeah, they love climbing.
Yeah, they
want to be on things.
They're awful. They make crazy noises.
They eat everything. They tear shit up.
My least favorite animal, if it weren't for their milk or their cheese.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
No, I love my little. It was just my best friend. Homeschooled, so like Frisky was my friend.
I get
it was friendship.
Applesauce was not.
Applesauce.
Yeah. Applesauce was evil, and I'm talking like this is probably like. Weirdly, I remember being born.
Sorry, say it again.
Well, we're going back. We're going back.
Like the coming out.
Yeah. I remember being born. I remember the lights turning on.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And being like, time to go.
This is blowing my mind because my memory's so bad.
My memory's awful too.
The lights are on, and then do you remember like people looking down at you and like whacking your ass?
Yeah, like basically, and I remember just like screaming. And then it kind of went dark again. And then the lights came back on when the fucking goat wouldn't get off the
Those are your two core
yes.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
That's amazing.
Yes. Like if you were to see it as a scene, you'd like, it'd be blurry and you'd see like a doctor. I just remember it unconsolably. It was just like bawling. That's all I remember.
That's extraordinary. Because we obviously all have that in us, but we don't remember it. I assume because it's too traumatic, because it's too,
right.
You're in this beautiful womb and then you're out. Awful.
I looked it up on the internet and there are a few people who have very similar like stories.
You want me to up on a message board and talk about the experience?
I moderate it.
That's how I met my wife too. She also remembers being birthed. But then the goat applesauce was my next big memory.
I don't know what to do with that. Were you joking before? Your wife also remembers her birth, or were you serious? She doesn't. Okay, just checking. Rob's always doing a deadpan, and I can't understand.
No, I'm not that good.
So what was the memory up to the goat? That just continued then? The memory was on from goat onwards, or did you blink out again for a while?
I feel like it blinked out again, and then it started. Then that's when it was like.
The Weezer show where you meet Stan.
No, then it was like probably like a year later, and then it was like a month later, and then it and then it just became whatever we have now.
I don't know where to go from there. Phoenix, maybe back to Phoenix, because I'm going to Phoenix for the first time to see a 9 Inch Nails show this Friday. It's my first time in Phoenix. What is
Great
Phoenix?
Time to go.
Oh, and a
what
9
am
Inch
I
Nails
meant
show.
to do?
My dad threw away our 9 Inch Nails tickets my senior year of high school. I was like, it was 9 Inch Nails Perfect Circle. Me and Mike Lentz, shout out Mike Lentz. We're going to go, also still a friend. We're going to go. And I was like, I had the tickets. I put them in my dad's drawer thinking that would be the safest place.
Safe, yeah.
And my dad threw them out.
That's
intentionally?
horrific.
No.
Okay.
I don't know how any of this happened. The story blows my mind. And and Mike will not forgive me like to this day.
Yeah.
And
then
did you find out? Like
the day of. And I have a friend. One time we were talking, he's like, the best show I ever saw was 9 Inch Nails and Perfect Circle. I was like,
way to go, LJ.
Yeah, way to go, LJ.
That's rough.
So congratulations on being
I'm going
first
to
to go
my
to
dad's drawer. So I'm just going to check those tickets.
You better be careful with those tickets in Phoenix.
No.
I think growing up in like a desert town is maybe a little bit interesting for you too, because deserts in New Zealand, right?
We don't really do deserts. No.
I didn't appreciate it until now.
I didn't appreciate the desert either, actually. Yeah.
I always thought it was like when people talked about it, I was like, what's so cool about having dirt and like having a yard that's just dirt? Like, and even growing up in it was like, this is so like disgusting.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate a lot about it until one time I was working with these kids from Philadelphia, and they were just like, it's so awesome out here, and everything is just like what do you call it? They're like touching my house and they're like, what do you call this? I'm like, stucco. And they're like, oh, all of our houses are like bricks and old and like everything here is just like new. And I was just like, okay.
I do. My best friend in first grade moved to Scottsdale from Chicago. And I remember coming out to visit him and we're like,
Scottsdale's a very different place.
What is
that's like, that's like another world from where we grew up for sure.
We also have a lot of Chicago transplants. It's a big, like I'm from Iowa. It's a weird Midwestern hub.
Well, you got Portillo's and Lumalnati's there, right?
We do.
I'm pretty sure
it just closed. The like bump in one, just the Lumalnati's just closed.
But is there Portillo's there?
I think so.
There is. Yeah. We went during COVID and got a bunch of Portillo's.
I can't believe I moved. I
don't know how you're gonna take this, but I don't like a deep dish pizza. It's not for me.
You're having the wrong kind.
Like a bread bowl. It's a bread bowl.
It's not good.
It's a lot.
It's a bread bowl. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Soup. It's basically soup.
I used to think that it was my favorite until I tried it.
The idea of it was
conceptually
really good.
is phenomenal.
Well, what deep dish have you had in Chicago?
I want to say probably Luminati's and
we went to what's it, like Grimaldi's or something?
Yeah, like I think
okay representations. You got to do like Pequods.
I'm not doing any of them.
Yeah,
sorry. No, those were the two strikes.
I like the thinnest of thin crust pizzas you can get. That's my jam.
Yeah, well, Chicago food is, and I do love Chicago food. Rick Bayless is my like favorite person of all time. So I'm really looking forward to going to Chicago and going to a bunch of Rick Bayless restaurants, which is funny because being from Phoenix where the Mexican food is amazing. But I've just gone on an internet like trip of like looking at Rick Bayless stuff.
Wait, so what did Phoenix give us? Like what are Phoenix's things? Because my brain is completely empty.
Yeah.
Jimmy World,
Jimmy World, Gin Blossoms.
The format,
but the fact that it's taken.
That would sound like an aggressive question. Like, what did it give us? But like, what is
Phoenix is a weird.
We got the big Charlie Kirk funeral.
Yeah.
God.
We got the Charlie Kirk Freeway.
Yeah, we got Turning Point USA. That's our big win.
Oh, is TP USA?
It's in Phoenix.
Toilet Paper USA is Phoenix.
It's in Phoenix.
Oh, so it is big Christian town.
It's
kind of old school.
Yeah, it's a very
weird.
rural suburban sprawl. We have a lot of like mega churches in the like East Valley, West Valley.
It's turned, but it's also turned fairly progressive since we've been
in the
there.
center. Yeah, like we now have a pretty good sort of central like downtown core. When we were kids, the downtown area was just like abysmal. Everything would close at 5, and there's one venue down there that we would go to. We actually saw someone get murdered at across the street.
You saw it happen?
Yes.
Sorry, horrible.
It was like a beating with a brick.
It was
situation.
I watched someone get hit with a brick, but we're not going to describe this, are we?
We didn't know what was happening. It seemed like it was very strange. It seemed like they were friends.
They were. It was
strange. We didn't get it until
weirdly,
it was
Marco, who we've mentioned a few times, the other day he told the whole story because I have like blocked it out of my mind.
Right. You've got your birth and the goat.
But I stop at death. Yes.
Yeah. But we had that venue down there. But other than that, it was like downtown was terrible. But it's recently, like we moved down there. You were the first one to move down there in like 2006 or something. That's when it started kind of becoming a place where you could escape the sprawl and all of that stuff, like the rural life of whatever. It's just like Phoenix is kind of depressing because it was like a stamp and repeat of like a mall, a Target. It's like the same stuff.
Right.
Like
again,
stamp and
again,
repeat
again.
of this a neighborhood, and then once the next one's built, no one wants to live in this one anymore. So people move into that one, and then this one just gets kind of abandoned, and they just keep doing that until you get to California, at this point.
And really, like it's crazy how much it stretches out. Even I hadn't driven we used to make that drive when we were kids all the time, or even early format days living in Phoenix, driving to California to make a record or whatever it was. And yeah, the houses would just get closer and closer to California. Like you'd be driving in from California and being like, wait a second, like I was just here 2 months ago, and it seems like we're like 3 miles ahead, three extra miles of houses has just sprawled out. Now it's insane.
And California's doing the same thing, so they will eventually meet.
They'll kiss. It's
like
the Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's one giant spaghetti noodle.
There's no sane segue into this, but these coffees are sitting here, and in every episode, I encourage guests to bring in something sort of iconically American that I perhaps have not partaken in.
Is this iconically? It's about to be.
It's about to be.
it seems
I'm
pretty-
trying
This is some finger on the pulse type of
I
stuff.
have been staring at these for a while, and I'm curious what these are exactly.
I think it is a Japanese coffee shop, but in America.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
I mean, I
trying
heard
to make
peanut
this an
butter,
American
and I
thing.
thought that sounds fucking American.
Yes,
You know,
this
the
is
peanut
an
butter
iced
aspect.
latte with like peanut butter, like actual peanut butter in it that has been kind of like liquefied and squirted into the coffee
Okay.
and then stirred. It's very delicious.
Is this a recent discovery of yours?
This is in the
or-
last year I discovered this, and I've been trying to turn everybody I know onto the peanut butter latte. My favorite. It's my favorite treat.
Okay. I'm going to have a... You guys have one here? Rob and I get to share this.
I think you tried to turn me on to this about
A few months ago or something.
few months ago.
Yeah, give it a stir.
Oh, yeah, that's
there's
peanutty.
Peanut butter on the bottom, I think.
Oh yeah, we need to get that peanut butter up.
Really
But-
settled down there.
Yeah, these have been sitting for about an hour now.
See, I get a lot of these, so this is not new to me.
Oh, delicious.
It's great, right?
Yeah, I love peanut butter. Big fan.
In about 15 years.
15 years.
Oh my God.
I don't do
That's right.
coffee.
You've been off for a long time. Can
Are
you? It's probably
Are
a
you
bad
recovering
idea.
coffee junkie? Are you just gonna
No,
set you back?
it's not, I'm always a tea guy.
Yeah, so it's not the caffeine so much. It's
The matcha's got a lot of caffeine.
yeah.
It's good.
That has got a lot of
The
peanut, butter flavor.
aspect is a great flavor. I'm into this.
Yeah, I'm into it too. There's not enough peanut butter for me.
You want more?
It's a bit watered down.
Yeah, the ice has melted because
Yeah,
it
the
has
ice has
been sitting
melted a
here
bit.
for a little bit. But
Anything worth doing is worth overdoing. So,
Yeah.
but it is still absolutely delicious.
Do you guys think you'll still be friends in another 30 years?
Well, the hope is that we're still alive.
Yeah.
That's really just.
Yeah, I think as long as we're still kicking it, what is that? What's that going to be? 75 for me?
I think so. We're not dramatic people. So like, it's something crazy would have to happen. Like, let's knock on wood, but it'd have to be like, I don't know. We're just so low drama that like, I don't know how it wouldn't happen. How the 20 years that we were not a band, it's not like we talked every day or even every year, but we were always still close. But it's been really cool doing this again because now like we both have families and our families like are now more so intertwined, and it's just a really cool thing.
What was that conversation that brought you guys back to make some more music? Because you're going to play some songs soon for us. But what was that conversation or thought?
He learned how to play guitar. That was probably the biggest conduit back to it. We'd been talking for years to reunite to play some shows. And those materialized kind of right before COVID started. We had them booked and then they just went away, obviously. There was like March and April of 2020. So,
All right, so COVID really, fucked that up.
yeah, COVID really fucked that up, which ended up, I think, being, sort of good because it did feel a bit more like an obligation at that point. Maybe like we wanted to do it, but it just was sort of like, I don't know, maybe we felt like we needed to do it. Just because so much time had passed and we didn't really have a good reason to not do it. People wanted to see us play. So we're like, we'll just go play some shows, I guess. But yeah, he learned how to play guitar. I went out to visit him and heard some songs that he was working on and saw like his little setup that he'd built in his basement. It's like, what are you doing with all this stuff? And at that time, he said nothing.
Yeah, I was very comfortably retired for about like 8 years, just being like, I have no desire, like, and fortunately didn't need to have to do anything. And so my kids started going to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I need something to do during the day. I've always liked guitar. I might as well just like learn to play a couple songs. And then as I did that, then suddenly like the floodgates opened again and I just started writing a whole bunch of music with no intention. I was just like, okay, well, this will just be for me.
Yeah.
And then I started to be like, I actually kind of like this stuff and I wouldn't mind if people heard it.
How easily did you guys click back into
It's very easy.
that? Yeah.
Very easy for me. I mean, it was, feel like I understood exactly what he was going for with this. Kind of had just there were like a batch of 7 songs maybe that were in pretty good shape. I could definitely tell what was going on, and I was just very excited to. I mean, I hadn't made any music in a long time either, so just excited to do that. And actually, in 2020, I was pitching. I was like, we should just do like a song. I really wanted to.
Yeah,
At
and I
that
was like, fuck, I'm never doing a song again.
Like, it'd be more fun if we have something new to play, like we'll close with a new song or something. But anyway, so it ended up just being, I think, better in the end. And 20 years has passed, but in a lot of ways, it feels like no time has passed at all. Almost like a parallel universe situation.
But that's the best kind of friendship, that you can just like tap back in. And if you can also
absolutely.
do that with the
Totally.
music
And,
as well, it's great.
Tap back in with like, and it's just like the whole being born thing, just to circle back around. It's like it went dark.
Yeah.
And then it just like opened the eyes opened back up, and
Sam is there again.
Yeah, and
I am the goat
with his fake
I am
press
the goat
kit.
here in this.
but 20 years as better people too, I think is the kind of the best part about it. We're just, I think, better versions of ourselves too. Not that we were bad versions earlier, but it's just so much more enjoyable when you've figured out a lot of things. Nobody ever figures anything out truly, but I think we've just figured out a lot in our lives and being comfortable in our own skin. And I think being more aware of the world around us. I think those type of things, it makes this much more enjoyable.
And you're both like having kids and stuff probably helps as well, right? Like your perspective on things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Thing.
Everything changed. Like even just as writing, from a writing perspective, for me, I've always just been like, boo-hoo me, I got broken up with. Oh no. And
20s to 40s is a different experience.
And I did well with that. Very, very well with that. And that's who I was. Like I like could not imagine being anyone else other than some heartbroken like person. And once I had kids, it just like suddenly you're like, wait a second, there's a whole world out there and it's fucked up.
Stay tuned for more Flightless Bird. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. This episode of Flightless Bird is brought to you by Wild Grain. I am wild about Wild Grain. I love Wild Grain. I love bread. I love fresh bread in the house. Wild Grain is the first bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and fresh pastas. Plus, all items conveniently bake in 25 minutes or less. I got a big giant box of frozen Wild Grain breads. My house is full of bread smells. My belly is full of delicious breads. I'm so happy with this product. And good God, if you love bread, Wild Grain is the thing for you.
Unlike many store-bought options, Wild Grain uses simple ingredients you can pronounce and a slow fermentation process that can be easier on your belly and richer in nutrients and antioxidants. There's no preservatives, no shortcuts. I have realized you can really tell when you're eating bread that doesn't have those things, how much different you feel. I have a friend that is a baker, and he is all about the particular things that he puts in bread, and it makes the world of difference.
Right now, Wild Grain is offering our listeners $30 off your first box, plus free croissants for life when you go to wildgrain.com/bird to start your subscription today. There's nothing like having an artisan bakery in your freezer to chase away the winter chill. Now's the best time to stay in and enjoy comforting homemade meals with Wild Grain. I highly recommend giving Wild Grain a try.
That's $30 off your first box and free croissants for life when you visit wildgrain.com/bird. Or you can use promo code BIRD at checkout.
You're excited about making music again now. What put you in that headspace of being like, fuck this, I'm done with music for now? Like, was it a specific thing or just bored over it?
Over it. I'm a type of person who's like, I'm into something and then I'm off of it. And I hate the idea of being defined by one thing. I don't like, because that's not who I am. I'm not just a guy who makes music. I don't know what else I know how to do. I just know that that's just not who I am. I don't spend every waking, breathing second like thinking about music. And I had to, things were going really well. I had no choice but to spend every waking second thinking about it and seeing it seeing it as from having like the biggest songs in the world and all that type of stuff, those things that you just never really dream about, and getting there and just being like, this is fucking beat. Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks and I don't even love it.
That's not the be all end all.
Yeah, and I've made more money than I could ever possibly be comfortable. Like, I never thought that it would do this. So like, why am I sticking around? This is just stupid. And so I was just like, all right, I'm out. Like, I'm done. And so it was cool that coming back to this, I feel like we've both been blessed in our lives in the 20 years apart, where we're not approaching this with any thought other than for us. We sell our tickets as low as possible. We sell our merchandise as low as possible. Because,
Amazing, great, accessible to people.
because like, and
Yeah, we want, like, we're enjoying this. We want people to be able to come and experience this with us now. We don't want to gouge those people. We want this.
we live to break even. Like that's all. Like that's all we can ask for in this situation.
Yeah.
Doing this. And because you just watch how much people just get ripped off by like musicians. And by like
insane.
rich musicians. That's the other thing. Like I understand like if you're a band and you're just trying, like this is your living, because it's become harder and harder because the music industry has taken everything away from everybody. So it's hard for a band to make money. So I understand, in some ways, but if you are privileged enough, like hardworking people are paying money, like these, like, and you're taking everything they have so that they can come watch you live. Like when we're kids, like it was an outlet. Like going to concerts was like an outlet. Now people have to like take out a fucking mortgage just to go see a show. Like that would not be enjoyable for me to also have this feeling like I just paid $80 for a t-shirt, like after a hard day's work. It's just awful the way that people treat how the music industry works, specifically from the top, which is like anything in life. But I just look at how much these artists just charge an arm and a leg for everything, and it's just so disappointing. So for us doing this, it's like, okay, if we make anything extra, that's nice, but I can't imagine, because we really just want to be able to pay the people that we work with.
Are you running the website?
Sort of.
Amazing.
Sort of.
Of course you are.
In many ways, I am. Yes. It's gotten much easier. No, we actually did get a little help. They asked me if I was running the website, and then it had to be kind of revamped for the new album, and I was like, I'll let somebody else do it.
What are you using for it?
We're using are you guys sponsored by Squarespace by chance?
Sometimes
we are. Segue in.
Well, you are now.
Wait, we have a website?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I mean, it's just what even is a website?
What is
anymore?
a website now?
Yeah, it's just like all like
got all of our
modular
links.
stuff.
It's just like a link me page.
I mean, most people's websites are just that now. It's just a place you have to have so many different. Yeah, that's so ridiculous.
My friend's band just got a website, and it's very funny. They made it like almost. Do you remember that game Myst, where you like dragging the mouse around? You're in a room. The whole website, like you're in a room and you're sort of like dragging the mouse around to like find tour dates and stuff. The least user friendly website imaginable, but very fucking funny.
We had a video
That's awesome.
game.
We had a video game back in 2010. We had a video game website.
Oh, really?
6.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
2006. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
We were in 2010.
It was a full video game website that you'd play the video game, and then there would just be these little stops where you could get like tour dates and whatever. We all had little characters. It was really cool.
Oh, I love that. I feel like it's when was it like Flash became a big thing?
Yeah.
Everyone was suddenly using that as much as they possibly could.
Yeah,
I didn't
mobile
know.
became a thing, and then you couldn't use Flash on mobile.
I was not a Flash. I could not. So I just kind of like peaked at HTML. I was not. Once Flash came into play, I was like, I am out. I'm out.
The songs you're about to play us in the studio, is there anything you want to say about them before you play them, or just let them speak for themselves?
Well, I mean, one of them, Bar Set So Low, we have that up on Bandcamp.
Oh, duh, yeah.
And that's a really important song for us. I mean, it was intended to be on Boycott Heaven, actually. We recorded a version of it that just didn't, the way it was recorded just didn't really work. But we started playing it when the week our album came out. Things got pretty hairy in Minneapolis, and we found out the morning that we were doing our show in like an in-store in Phoenix. Alex Preddy got shot, and so Nate was like, "Hey, we should maybe break this song out and play it today."
Holy shit!
It was the day after like our album release, and we were in Phoenix, and I don't know. Phoenix people have just always been particularly amazing for us, and so we had this big, huge CD release for like a local record store, Stinkweeds, that people had to get tickets to, and so we were gonna just play all new songs, and that awful thing happened, and the whole song is about just immigration and the way that we treat our immigrant population, legal or illegal, in this country, and so it just seemed very fitting to play it that day, and then I think people really appreciated it. When you write a song like that, and we like having listened to a lot of Rage Against the Machine too lately, where you just realize that nothing changes. I'm listening to Rage nowadays, just being like, well, this could have been written, this was written 30 years ago. It applies so perfectly today, and it probably applied so perfectly 30 years prior to when it was written. And so I feel like this is just one of those songs where we were like, okay, like one day it's going to have to be released, because it's just, I know nothing's going to change here. And so we decided to re-recorded just an acoustic version that we put up on.
It's on Bandcamp. Yeah, and we released it. It was on. They do that Bandcamp Friday thing where they take no fees. So we released it on the first one this year, and we had a great first day. And we're donating all that money to a basket of organizations that we think are pretty cool. And yeah, so it's up there right now, and we continue to play it. That whole run, the whole little string of shows that we did for the album release.
So yeah, so funny doing an album release and then closing it out with the song that did not make the album.
Yeah, but for a very good reason.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
surreal.
For sure. But I'm all, like, you're like, I'm here to promote this album. Fuck.
Well, everything's digital now. You just throw it at the end of the album.
I thought about that
be...
too. You just put in the bonus track. I've done that before, where you just put bonus track at the end of it. You just put in parentheses. But no, we just thought we wanted to just give all the proceeds to causes that will benefit.
Got to try, right? In the middle of all of this, you have to try. Things might never change, but you've got to try.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. Things might change, or you got to just keep trying to find ways to energize people. I think we're hopefully coming to a point where direct action is just much more. You even just saw the amount of people that just went out in Minneapolis somehow the day before. I
was there for the day before for the march to cover it, and then obviously that happened the next day. But that was a combination of a fucking horrific murder that happened. But the positive thing about that city is everyone is so down to help each other, and for direct action and mutual aid is all across that city.
Yeah,
that response was amazing to see.
That response was phenomenal to see, and I think unfortunately what happened to Alex Preddy was probably a big byproduct of that. These losers just have their egos were damaged.
Completely.
These are the biggest babies in the entire world. They hired the dumbest people just to do this shit. And their poor fragile egos, and
didn't like being pushed back. They didn't like being yelled at.
60,000 plus people, and it's something that most of the country is in favor of. They didn't like that nobody likes them, and so they had to take it out on somebody, as if what they're doing isn't enough.
100%. So
yeah, I did appreciate what happened the day before, and you just knew something bad was going to happen, because that's what happens when you have just like crazy bootlickers who just don't, they can't think for themselves, and so it was great to see that direct action, and I really just hope that there can be more direct action, that people can see that, I just feel like the time of charity-based type of stuff, like not looking and just saying, okay, just take my money, it's just not enough.
Not enough, completely. Have to actually step up and do something.
It's like I appreciate it, obviously, like trying to do good, but I think we're at a point now where it's
unavoidable. I mean, even I think people that, it's horrible that seeing things like this happen, like things like this have to happen in order to like wake up people that maybe this is what it takes. It's just, I don't know. But I do feel like even some people, I won't name names, but people in my family who I would maybe not expect to be kind of outraged by what's happening, are even starting to kind of wake up and be like, okay, this is actually very fucked up,
Yeah, it's like smack them in the face.
Yeah, it's getting too apparent. It's like you just cannot ignore this. Like you absolutely cannot ignore it at all. So yeah, it's like, I mean, hoping something beautiful can come out of this total nightmare that we're living in. If history repeats itself, I think it will.
Well, fuck, thanks for coming in and playing these songs. I don't know. I don't want to go back to this again, but maybe we can cut this in earlier. This birth situation.
I
don't want to skip over that.
It's good to circle back to it.
Just
Okay.
Yeah, I just
It
want to
keeps the
know
memory
like
fresh.
the memory, that memory.
Like, do you want the whole scene?
I want the scene. I want
I'm
the
giving
sounds,
you the
smells.
scene. I don't. The smells. They were not there. It honestly was like the light is on. There. The thought in my brain was, here we go. I swear on like everything. Like I don't think I've ever literally told people this story, and people
I've never heard this.
and
story.
people don't believe it. And that's what I find so strange. I'm like, wait, that didn't happen to you as well? Like,
It happened to all of us, didn't it? And
It
we
did.
don't. That's the thing. We don't remember. You do.
it's like stock footage of like a in a waiting room. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just seeing.
No, I
Like,
don't know what you're saying.
I'm just crying. All I know is I'm crying. I feel like it's all foggy. It's
You're not
probably
in-
the
you're not in
placenta.
focus?
It's probably the placenta.
It's
yeah,
the
eyes
sack.
aren't working for a little while.
I just remembered it's like, it's go time.
Okay.
And then it was like,
Just as you see your dad light up a cigarette.
yeah, I'm sure my dad was in the delivery room just smoking up a storm.
Do you remember shapes or noises, or was just too much placenta over your little
It was just like
baby
light.
eyes?
It was just like light. Like suddenly there was light, and that it was time. It's time.
Let's
like,
go.
action.
Sorry, thank you for expanding. It's blowing my mind.
What's your earliest memory? What's your earliest?
Mine taps in, I feel like age, like I'm late. I'm like 5 or 6.
Okay.
And that's why I'm blown away by this. Like, what a remarkable thing. And I know we all experience it, so we all have that in us. But for whatever reason, we don't remember. You do. That's incredible.
It's really weird. I'm not a religious person or spiritual for that matter. The feeling of it's go time. like
I can't deal with that.
Seriously, the feeling of it's go time suddenly was just like, all right, we're it's on.
Let's roll.
Like, here's life again. Maybe it's my second time. Maybe it's my third time. I don't know.
But that was, it wasn't words. You weren't thinking it's go time. That was the emotion. Or was it like if you spoke, did you say like it's go
You
time?
LFG.
It came out.
No, it was a feeling.
Okay, just checking. Oh, fuck, it's good. Something very motivational about that. Like, it's such a great impetus to have. It's go time. I'm going to take that with me
I
into the
love
day.
that you have latched onto this so much, because
Oh, it's the most remarkable thing I've heard.
I sound like, now you're making me feel like I'm a crazy person.
No, the thing is, I believe you. I don't think you're crazy. I believe you've got that feeling in memory, and I'm just in awe of that.
No, I do. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And then Buttercup, whatever you fucking go.
No, it was applesauce.
Applesauce.
Buttercup.
Oh God, yeah.
Buttercup was your horse.
I did not have a horse named Buttercup.
You guys are amazing. We covered so much Americana in there, and you were
We
fucking
did.
wonderful. So
What a
thank
place.
you. Yeah, well, it is
Yes.
a weird country. It's a really weird country.
It definitely is.
Bar said solo.
I was taken from my mother's arms and carted off, carted blonde. What would I do for a slave wage and some hard problems? Out of pocket, out of context clues. Get away, get away, get away, 'cause the fear has gotten hold and I'm struggling. It's a shame, it's a shame, it's a shame that the bar is set so low. I'm caught under it. They're awake before the rising sun. So cut 'em up, what will that do? Save a space to make zeros and ones. A bigger briefcase for our boys in blue. Get away, get away, get away, 'cause the fear has gotten hold and I'm struggling. It's a shame, it's a shame, it's a shame that the bar is set so low. I'm caught under it. I'm long lost. I was born in this cage. I watch colors swap, but still nothing changes. Only the law. It's getting harder to break. Hey, I once heard a wise friend say in life, there is one goal. For all of our brothers, We must lighten the load. So now I'm on my way to Mexico. We pardon the criminals, put them in su. Soy un bastardo de la nación podrida. May you do to me what we done to you. Get away, get away, get away, cause the fear has gotten hold. And I'm struggling. It's a shame, it's a shame, it's a shame that the bar is set so low. I'm caught under it.
The song's called Back to Life.
Been gone for way too long. Got lost inside the storm. I never meant to say goodbye. I didn't mean to make you cry. I'm only here to steal your love tonight. So get dressed and dry your eye. I'm coming back to life. I'm here to reclaim what is mine. I'm here to wrestle these demons down to die. I'm only here to feel your love tonight. I'm back to life. I'm back to life. I'm back to life. We may need another tourniquet. I can't fight all these demons alone. What once was buried in the back started rumbling, and now it's burning down the desert, lighting up the sky. Swear to God, it's always something with this guy. I'm back to life. I said I'm back to life. Well, I'm back to life. Hey. Well, I'm back to life. I said I'm back to life. I'm back to life. Hey, I said The song's called
Depressed.
Did you wait for blood? Did you throw away the bottle cap? Did you clean up the mess by the stairs? There's a place that I love, but I swallowed all my cigarettes. It's a shame what we lost in the flood. Sometimes I get a little bit depressed. Sometimes I get, whoa. Sometimes I get a little bit depressed. Oh, in a craze, shedding fabric, holding doors open for demons, just to make it to the stage. Till I got knocked straight in the head, singing hallelujah, this was never the bed I intended to make. Every handshake's worth the play. If I want, I could just walk away. All I gotta do is pay. Every handshake's worth the play. All I gotta do is pay. Every handshake's worth the play. Sometimes I get a little bit